it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I'm your host, Clay Emo, Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It is Sunday night, October the 6th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Nice to see so many of you in here waiting for me. I just have a sense that people are really eager, really excited to start this Canucks season. I've seen the growth on my YouTube channel, on the vlogs I posted today, on these live streams, in membership. So thank you to all of you. We got a lot to talk about today, as you can imagine. The Tucker POOLMAN trade, the NILS HOGLANDER extension, the practice lines today, roster declaration tomorrow. So I'm going to spend probably the first 20 to 30 minutes, just me. I'll highlight, membership gifting and memberships and donations, but I don't want to get too off track. Not that it's not your fault. It's my fault for not being able to concentrate. So I'm going to tell you, I'm taking the first 20 to 30 minutes myself, and I'm going to go through everything. And then we'll do the mid-show sponsor read. I'll make a couple of big announcements about this week. And then the second half of the show, I will turn it over to all of you. So grateful to see many of you here, from all familiar faces, returning names from all across, not just I'll just do my regular intro and then you'll see what I mean. So moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legends, Hall of Fame and franchise members, thanks for your support. Always appreciate you. And I never, ever take you for granted. And everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston, in Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anything else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three, or doing homework. But the fact, doing stuff like Sarah, submitting her paper early just so she can be here at the stream. I hope you didn't sweat too much, Sarah, when you're doing that. That is amazing. That is dedication. Amazing. So thanks to everyone for being here. I'm so grateful for all of you. So this is how you get involved today. You can subscribe to the channel so you get active in the chat section and get notified by my videos every single day. You can, like the two that I did today. And I did a member video today. So I've already done my members ask me anything. So 3 videos for your enjoyment. If you haven't watched it already, watch them already. You can like the video. There are 60 of you in here already, which is amazing. I know you guys are hungry for Canucks news and talk. Only 10 likes though. So let's bump that up. We got to get at least to 30, you guys. We love that 50% rule here. So like the video, you can leave a donation and get the donation train out of the station. You can gift a membership. By the way, congratulations, Taylor. I saw that you got your graduating license. That's awesome. You can gift a membership. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your own membership. You can use your monthly membership message, your M. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Like I said, it is, I can tell that things are picking up. The 2 big news stories. I see a lot of traction on my videos. We had a great Hall of Fame and Legends Zoom call about an hour and a half ago. So everything, 2 hours ago. So everything seems to be going very, very well. And I can feel it. I feel it. Had my hockey pool today, had the guys over, and everything seems to be going very, very well. I just heard a big bang upstairs though. So I hope, I better check. Give me a sec. Apparently a bunch of stuff fell in the shower while Jacob was in the shower. So it sounds like he's okay. Okay. So as I said, I'm going to go for the first 20 minutes or so, you guys, 20, 25 minutes, because there's a lot to get through and I'm not trying to be rude. I will do my best to highlight anything that shows up on green on my screen, which means it's a donation or it's a new membership. It's a membership gift or it's a monthly membership message. But I do know it was the sound of Alfie making yet another trade. I actually saw something that came in before I started, so I almost forgot to highlight this. So let's give some love to Coach Rob in the chat. So my apologies, Coach Rob. You did get the donation train going with a gift of a franchise membership, and I think that went to Shiraz, if I'm not mistaken. So sorry, Taylor. The shutout streak continues, but Shiraz, welcome back to franchise membership. Coach Rob, thank you for your generosity. Let's give some love to Coach Rob in the chat for sure. Thank you, Coach Rob. I appreciate you as always. So like I said, I'm going to go for the first few minutes, and then I will highlight anything that's green: a membership gift, a membership message, an upgrade, or a donation. But otherwise, we have a lot to get to. So I was doing a hockey pool, and I didn't think, and I said this in my vlog, I didn't think it would be polite, since I was hosting, that I snuck away for 10 minutes to record a vlog, as much as I wanted to be honest with you. I really wanted to. But, you know, I don't think people rely on me to be the first to break news. I'm not the first to break news because I'm not an insider, but I do like to give pretty quick, timely, and smart feedback to the news, and especially how it affects the Vancouver Canucks. So I don't do messages. I don't do vlogs just for the sake of being the first one out there. I want to give some really, really good analysis, and right away, right off the top of my head, so you guys know that I'm at least can pretend that I'm smart. So let's talk about this. Tucker Poolman. Tucker Poolman was in the 4th year of his 4-year contract, $10 million, $2.5 million a season. He played his first year, 2021, 2022, and then he got hurt. And then he didn't play for basically the whole 22-23 season, and then last season, the 23-24 season. So 1 season of playing, 2 seasons of being hurt, and this was his 4th year. So General Manager Patrick Allvin announced today that the Canucks have acquired defenseman Erik Brannstrom from the Colorado Avalanche in exchange for Tucker Poolman. I always say Tucker Poolman, 20% salary retained, and a 4th round pick in the 2025 NHL entry draft. So what we had to give up or retain technically is 20% of Tucker Poolman's $2.5 million salary. So that means we have $500,000, 20% of dead cap space because of the Poolman contract. So we saved $2 million, not the whole 2.5, but we saved $2 million. And we have to attach a 4th round pick in next year's draft. I don't worry so much about the 4th round pick. I think generally after you get past the 2nd round, picks in rounds 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are a bit more a crapshoot. You can always hit the lottery, of course. And the Canucks are a team that has taken advantage of some good picks in the later rounds. But generally, the odds will say that picks in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round don't pan out. You usually want to hit on your first 2 picks for sure. So I was okay. And everyone's been talking about you're going to have to attach a pick, a mid-round pick, to Tucker Poolman's salary to get it to get over. I love this, Michael. The new LTIR: lose Tucker, include retention. I love it. LTIR. That is very, very, very good. And then we get back a veteran defenseman, Erik Brannstrom. Erik Brannstrom was drafted in the 1st round back in 2017. He was traded by Vegas. He was traded from Vegas to Ottawa in the big Mark Stone trade back in 2019. And he's played the last 2 seasons. He's played over 70 games. And then the season before that, 53 games. So last 3 seasons, he's been a regular for the Ottawa Senators. He's a decent puck-moving defenseman. He's not that big. He's only 5'10", 185. But because he's of his experience, we can't, if we were going to keep him on our roster, if we weren't going to keep him on our roster, to get him to Abbotsford, he has to pass through waivers. So we will know by 11 a.m. tomorrow if Erik Brannstrom does make it through waivers. If he does, I think he becomes the number 1 call-up on the left side. Remember, behind Hughes Hronik, Susie Myers, Forbert Desharnais, our next 2 defensemen are both righties. Noah Juleson, who likes to play on the right side, Mark Friedman, who's a righty who can play on the left side. But you could argue that Erik Brannstrom is a better option than Mark Friedman on the left. Maybe Brannstrom becomes your first option on the left, and then you have Noah Juleson being the first option on the right. I will keep going in a second, but I said that I would honor these. Shout out to Alfred Cliffhagen Canuck for his $14 donation. Let's give Alfred some love in the chat. Back on home soil from my trips in Greece country and Canada's lowercase city in time for the entree of what will be an exciting season. I feel relieved after the POOLMAN trade for D-Death. Alfred, welcome back. I'm glad you're home safely, and thank you very much for the donation. Let's give Alfred some much-deserved love in the chat. Nice big donation, and yes, I feel relieved as well. So what this does, the ramification of this, the biggest ramification, and I'm going to show you how this works in a few minutes, is the Canucks now will not exceed the salary cap. They have found a way now to ice an opening night roster of 23 players plus Dakota Joshua's salary plus Thatcher Demko's salary, all under the $89 million salary cap. $88 million. If they were over the $88 million, then that means they would have to use what's called long-term injury reserve time, space. And the disadvantage, if you're into LTIR, like the Canucks have been for the past few seasons, you do not get to what you call accrue, save up, accumulate cap space throughout the season that that you can use during the trade deadline to acquire a new player or two. The fact that the Canucks are going to be under the salary cap without going into LTIR means they can accrue for the first time, and who knows what that's going to turn out to be when it comes to the trade deadline. So that is the reason why the Canucks made this trade. That is the reason why, even retaining $500,000, the net savings is $2 million. Guess what? Atu Ratu, Arshdeep Bains, Mark Friedman, Niels Amon, all those guys make less than $1 million. So if you have $2 million in cap space that came up, that means that we've made money space. We've made cap space to have 2 more players on our active roster. Because remember, I think it was either on Thursday night stream or I think it was Thursday night stream, I pointed out that the Canucks may have to have an active roster of only 21 players because they were bumping against the cap. Now that we've had an extra $2 million, that is 2 of these, minimum league players. Yeah, really quickly, Adrian, really quickly. He's 5'10", 185, decent skater, decent offensive instincts, but not like a big tree like Forbert or Desharnais or Soucy or Myers. His stature is very much like Quinn Hughes, and he's more of an offensive defenseman. He doesn't have major points like it's being like 25 and 30 points, but he can skate and he's got a decent hockey IQ. So we'll see how he turns out. And Ricky says Brandstrom biggest news today is that Brandstrom is a star and we need to hope he clears. And Baltimore Ravens, okay, I believe you on that. So that is the Tucker POOLMAN trade. That is what we had to give up. That is who we got back. And the most important thing is this is why we did it. And actually, Steven puts it nicely in writing for us. $2 million cap relief equals a 52nd overall pick equals $4.67 million value. Canucks 4th round pick, 125th overall was a 0.76 value, 6.14. So Alvin traded away 6 times less. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying what we traded away was only a 0.76 value. What we got back was a 6.14 value. Are you talking about money? Yeah. So I love that. I like that, Stephen, the way that you laid it out. I'm not sure if I fully understand it. I have to go through it, but I believe you. I believe you. If it's a good, I believe it's a good trade as well. Thank you, Stephen. I do understand what you're getting at, but I'm going to have to, it would take me a while to explain it. So that was really, really good. Oh, does he only have 3 goals? Did I say he was offensive defenseman? Okay, maybe I have to take that back. Let's look it up together. I'm sorry. I just saw a really nice highlight of him, but I'm really glad that you called me out on that because I do not want to mislead you guys. Eric Brandstrom stats. Let's go right now. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you checking me. Okay. I inflated all of his points. I don't know what I was thinking. So I take back the fact that he is an offensive defenseman. I will say the highlights I've seen, he skates very well, but you better skate very well if you're only 5'10", 185. So let's restart that. For those of you who want to know about Eric Branstrom's game, he, I took his penalty minutes and I thought those were his points. So he's not afraid to get some penalty minutes, 30, 38, 36, 2 goals, 3 goals. So he's not an offensive defenseman, decent, assists. He's playing like 16 minutes. That's about, borderline second pairing, third pairing. But I will not go back on the fact that I said he's a good skater, because he is a good skater. But I will take back, and I'll eat my humble pie, that he's an offensive defenseman. He's a defenseman that can skate. How's that? So maybe that's why he should be like kind of borderline third pairing, first call up. Thank you, Michael. You're good. You're good. I always appreciate you, you guys all looking out for me. So let's move to the second item of news. So I finished my hockey pool. We had a nice lunch, said bye to all those guys. And then I was recorded my POOLMAN trade vlog. I was about to upload it. And then I got, it was a bad Ottawa team. That's a good point, Ricky. And then I see the news that NILS HOGLANDER signed a 3-year extension, $3 million AAV, so $9 million contract. Now, I think this is a really good deal. Remember I was talking about you hope that your first and second round picks turn out? Well, Podkolzin was the first pick in 2019 here in Vancouver. Gone. Traded for a fourth, right? That's the fourth that we put into the POOLMAN deal. Hoglander was the second round pick in 2019. And his first contract was $900,000, $900,000, $892 to be exact. His second contract was 2 years, 1.1. This is now the second year of that. His next contract is $3 million. So we've basically locked up NILS HOGLANDER for 8 years for a total of $14 million. Wow. Is that math right? Yeah. 5 plus 9. Yeah. 8 years for a total of $14 million. After their 7th year, he becomes a UFA. So technically we bought one of his unrestricted free agent years. You guys, I think this is an awesome signing. Hoglander is exactly a middle six forward. I don't think he's good enough to play on your top line, but I don't think he's best used on your fourth line. So a middle six player is truly a second or third liner. He was a second liner with PD and Mikheyev last year. It looks like he's going to start this season on the third line with Garland or Suter or Ratu. So $3 million for a middle six guy is fine, especially because he is 23 years old. Steven, Michael, I'll do a better job. I can explain Hoglander a little bit better because I know him better than Branstrom. But yes, we all know that Hoglander has got a lot of offensive skills, some really good hands, good skater, works hard, not afraid to mix it up. Still learning the game defensively, positionally, neutral zone. Still hasn't earned all of Rick Tocchet's complete trust, but came into training camp as the highest fitness levels as well. So obviously taking his role as a professional very, very seriously. Thank you, Alfred, for yet another donation. Hoggy Boy is earning his big boy dough. Hoggy Boy. Yes, he is a big boy now. This will take him, like I said, to 26 years old, to 8 years in the league already, or 27 years old, 8 years in the league, which is pretty impressive. So let's give some love to Alfred. Also impressive. Another $7 donation. Thank you, Alfred. But yes, this is excellent, excellent signing for the Vancouver Canucks. So that was a bit about POOLMAN. That was a bit about NILS HOGLANDER. By the way, 130 of you in the chat, which is awesome. I'm going to see how many likes we have. We have 18 likes. That's not very awesome. So up to 24, not bad. So if you haven't liked the video, make sure you do so. This channel is growing all because of you. Welcome, Murray from New Zealand. I know Anula's here from Sweden, or maybe she's in Denmark still. You guys are amazing. Let's keep going with some more Canucks news, and then I'll get to all of you pretty soon, but we're going to keep going. So the Canucks did practice today. They did practice today amidst all these transactions. And the biggest news is Pius Suter was back, but Connor Garland was missing for a second straight practice. Rick Tocchet said Connor Garland, they hope to have him for Wednesday, which kind of stinks. So I don't know what happened to him, but they hope to have him on Wednesday. But this is where they're at right now with their lines. The same top six: Pettersson, DeBrusk, and Sprong, Miller, Besser, and Heinen. Then you had Atu Ratu between Suter, who was returning, and Hoglander. Remember, Garland was there for a while, but Suter returns. That bumped Sherwood down to the fourth line with Niels Oman and Teddy Bluger. And then Archie Baines was the extra forward. Then the same 8: Hughes, Hronik, Susie Myers, Forbert, Desharnais, Friedman, and Juleson. So here's the interesting thing. Sherwood played with Ratu and Hoglander on the third line against Edmonton on Friday because Suter was out. Suter comes back. If Garland doesn't play on Wednesday, this is how I expect the Canucks to line up. But if Garland comes back, Garland takes, oh, it's because of you, Michael. If Garland comes back, he goes back here with Garland, Ratu, and Hoglander. Or do you take out Ratu and put Suter in the middle? Suter between Hoglander and Garland, and then keep Bluger, Sherwood, Oman. Or you can put Garland here, and then you can. I take Oman out and I put Suter with Bluger and Sherwood, right? Because you need to have Suter and Bluger in the lineup as well, and I don't think you're taking Sherwood out. So my point is, if Garland comes back, it'll be interesting to see if he replaces Suter on the. He'll replace Suter on the third line, but then does Suter slide in the middle for Ratu, and then Ratu gets bumped for Oman, or does Suter just go to the fourth line and take Niels Oman out? So that's how they lined up. And then this is how they practice their power play units today. The big five of Besser, Miller, DeBrusk, and Pettersson. And then the not so big, but they scored last time with Hronik, Hoglander, then Heinen, Baines, and Sprong. So that's how they lined up. Heinen's lefty, right? So lefty, I mean, not right. Lefty, correct. So this is interesting that the bumper on this one is left and the bumper here is right. Whereas here they got lefty, righty, lefty with a righty here, and they have a righty, lefty, lefty. So you could put Sprong in the bumper if you really wanted to. Who knows? We will see what the Canucks do on opening night. So you put it all together, and this is what I want to explain to you. Oh, DeBrusk is left. Thank you. That's right. He's on the left side. Thank you, Stephen. This is the interesting thing now, you guys. With the Poolman trade, the Canucks can ice a full 23-man roster that is $500,000 under the cap. Now, this projection has Archie Baines in the minors. Okay? So if the Canucks go like this, not sure why I want any of these things, but 13 forwards active. So basically the ones we just talked about. And then Dakota Josh, actually on here, they have Connor Garland. Sorry, let me do that again. They have the 13 forwards that are practice, but they have Connor Garland in, and they have Archie Baines out. And then Dakota Joshua is on IR. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 forwards listed, but only 13 active. So remember, 14 forwards listed, 13 active, 13 and 1. You have 8 defensemen, so the 8 that were at practice. So now we're at 22 players listed and 21 of them active. And then we have the 3 goalies, including Demko. So now we have 25 players listed and 23 active. So again, this has Archie Baines down in the minors right here. And it has Connor Garland in, and it has Demko and Joshua and their salaries in 87.5. So we are $500,000 underneath the cap. We are not using LTIR, and we start to accrue cap space, which is pretty awesome. You could also send Mark Friedman down. He needs waivers, but that's 775, and not send Baines down, which is 816. So only difference is 60 grand. So again, no difference. Yeah, this will become whatever, 420 left, but still underneath the cap. So this is the last thing I'll say, and then I'll turn it over to all of you. tomorrow, although because we're already underneath the cap, tomorrow the Canucks have to declare their roster. And in some seasons, because of LTIR, because of IR, because of contracts, sometimes the roster they declare on opening day is not the same as the roster that suits up for opening night, right? Because opening day, roster declaration day is tomorrow, Monday, but opening night for the Canucks isn't until Wednesday. And people can get injured before then. But I think if I had to bet, though, I think the roster we see tomorrow is the roster that we're going to see on Wednesday night. And that would mean carrying one extra forward and two extra D, Jolson and Friedman. But if they think that Garland is going to be out for the season opener, I could see them actually having two extra forwards up and only one extra D-man. And that means trying to send Mark Friedman down to the Abbotsford Canucks. So I hope that all makes sense. That's kind of what some of the things that we can expect tomorrow when we see the Canucks declare their roster. And hopefully I can vlog about it pretty quickly after it happens. Okay, friends, you guys are awesome. Thank you for letting me get through all that. A lot of big news today, and 62% of you are saying that the bigger news was Hoglander extension. You know, I'm in the minority here. I actually think the bigger news that affects the Canucks, I think the bigger news was the Poolman trade because of how it affects the Canucks this season. Hoglander was already under contract for this season. It just means that we have him for 3 more years after this. And again, I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm just saying if I would have voted, I would have voted for actually the Tucker Poolman trade as the bigger news of the day. But they're both big stories, both positive stories for the Vancouver Canucks. Let me do my mid-show sponsor read. I want to give a shout out to my primary sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. You can check him out at coachpatrickliu.com/clay and receive a free 5-day workout when you do that. I just got some amazing news from my son, Sean, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share it publicly. So we will worry about that later once I get permission from him, but it is awesome news. Let's just say he's growing up pretty darn quick. Also, thank you to GasJet Art Maker, that fine artwork, and thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Also, a mid-show reminder to you to subscribe to the channel so you can get active in the chat section. You can like the video. We're now up to 34 likes on 131 people. That's still not great, but I'm not getting big for likes. You can leave a donation like Alfred has done. You can gift a membership like Coach Rob has done. Thank you, guys. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your own membership. You can use your monthly membership message, and you can rate and review if you're listening on a podcast platform. Oh, by the way, you know, speaking of gifting memberships, it's the first Sunday of the month. So let's go. Let's give some love to Canuck Clay, who has just gifted 5 memberships. And these 5 memberships go to Official Pickle, Dean, Winnipeg MB Ball, Lee, and Scott, and not to Taylor. So firstly, welcome to the 5 of you. Welcome to franchise membership. Taylor, I'm being serious. I think we actually talked about you during our Hall of Fame and Legend chat because we want you so badly to become a member. I can't allocate membership. So the only suggestion we had was make sure that you have membership gifting enabled both on your phone and your laptop, basically any device that you watch the stream on. And maybe you've done that already. So I'm not trying to patronize you. I'm just trying my best to help you get a membership. So welcome to the 5 of you. to franchise membership. A couple other things, and then we will get going with all of your questions. Let's here it is. Shows this week. Tonight, right now, 11. Tomorrow, Canucks After Dark at 10. Parker and I are doing our prediction show. Then we have my show at 11:15 right afterwards. We'll see if we do games or talk about the roster. Then I have my show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 11. Now, Tuesday is a bit rushed always. It's just a shorter show because I have to go to my church hour. Wednesday is going to be a post game from the Canucks home opener. And then Thursday, we are going to have some giveaways on Thursday's show. I'm not going to give away what it is right now, but you're going to want to come to Thursday's show for sure. We are doing our start of season giveaways, and that will lead into my 24-hour live stream, which is on Saturday and Sunday. It starts Saturday at 10 a.m. I can confirm 3 of the guests. Well, actually, I know about 8 or 9 of the guests, but the 3 I want to tell you about right now are Jeff Patterson, Rick Dollywall, and Dan Murphy will all be joining me on that Saturday. That's Saturday afternoon, actually. So that's the one part that you're going to want to watch. You want to watch the whole thing and help me stay awake throughout the night. But Saturday afternoon, again, Jeff Patterson, we have Dan Murphy, and we have Rick Dollywall, among others, joining me on Saturday. Finally, you can purchase your Canuck Clay merchandise at canuckclay.threadless.com. Okay, because there are 120 of you in here, thank you. I'm not going to go read every single comment because I've been trying to do that during the off season, but now our numbers are growing again, which is great. So I'm going to go questions only, or, donations, membership gifts, monthly membership messages. It just helps me keep everything under control. So you guys can still talk to each other in the chat, but those of you that have been around for a while, you know that anytime I have more than 75 people, I think it's more manageable when I do questions only. So let's start with Adrian. Over under on Ovechkin surpassing Gretzky's goal total. So how many all-time goals? How many is he behind? 40, right? Or less than 40? Gretzky has 894. Ovechkin's 453. So 41. I don't think he does it this year, Adrian, but I do think he does it next year. So I do think that Ovechkin's going to get 41 goals over 2 seasons, but not over 1. Would it be easier cap space wise to keep Aman up with over Ratu and Baines? It's equal, Fangirl. It makes no difference because they all make around the same thing. So I can tell you right now, I don't have it up on the screen again, but Ratu makes 837 grand. Niels Aman makes 825 and Baines meets 817. So they all make within 10. They all make within $10,000 of each other. So no cap implication. Wow. Let's give some love to Brian Blingy. Brian Blingy Choi. That bling must mean that he is giving away memberships, which is amazing. Some love to Brian in the chat. So Brian, $50 donation results in 10 memberships, franchise memberships. Thank you, Brian. And they go to Disturbed, Liquid Simtex. I hope I didn't just swear. Bean Child, welcome back. Corrupted, Elston, Burke, McDee's, Greg, Drew Gamble, and PC Game Dad. So welcome. And Taylor, I'm sorry if you typed something out and I did not see it. Did you answer my question though? If you did, I apologize, about making sure that membership gifting is on every single device that you watch me on. Brian, thank you. Let's give some love to Brian in the chat. Well-deserved, amazing generosity. Thank you, Brian. Okay, where am I going here? I was saying questions only. Where was I? Where was I? Okay, here we go. For those unfamiliar with the organized hockey, can you please speak on line changes and how players know it's their turn to hop on the ice? Yeah. So generally, that's a great question. So let's say that the Miller, Besser, Heinen line is out there. Generally, the coach or one of the assistant coaches will basically say either the name of a player, like PD's line, or just say PD, and then they'll know that PD's line is supposed to go out there. So that will be Pedersen, Heinen, and Pedersen, DeBrusque, and Sprong. Or they will actually number the lines 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they'll just yell out the name of the number of the line that goes out. So in this case, 2. Then all Pedersen does is he watches for Miller. All Sprong does is he watches for Besser, and all DeBrusque does is watches for Heinen. You don't care what anyone else is doing. You're just looking for the guy that you are replacing. So again, the coach will yell out the name of the next line that's going out, either by name, PD, or by number, line 2 or 2. And then you watch for the guy that plays your position. Hope that makes sense. Ryan, have you done a power rankings yet for this upcoming season? Nope. And I don't think I will, and I never do. Are you suggesting that I should? Is my video lagging? Okay, try and make it work. Try and make it work. Or just make it work. Yeah, exactly. Usually they get tapped in the back or their names get shouted. Yeah, that's a good point, Viper. It might not be verbally. It might be a simple tap on their back for sure. Oh, sorry, you guys. I just see that my video is lagging. So I'm going to try and it's weird on my back end. That sounds funny. It says my stream's in excellent condition, but I'm looking at it and I look like a potato on the stream right now. So I don't know what's happening. I don't want to start and stop again. Once if I turn off my camera and turn it back on again. Maybe that'll work. Let's try this. I don't think that worked. Okay. Too bad. I wonder why. I'm going to have to fix this before. Yeah, but I see everything breaking down. Okay, guys, talk amongst yourselves while I try and troubleshoot this for a second. And maybe I just hope that it comes back. Oh, I think I'm back now. Yeah, okay. Maybe I have too much. Yeah, the sound's fine. That's the more important thing. So I'm going to keep going. Thanks, you guys. SG, I'm doing great. Hope you're doing hope you're doing well as well. Ricky says first Canuck goal of the season. I say Hanton. I'm gonna say DeBrusque, but I kind of like your vibe. I'm gonna go with one of the new guys. Why, John? I know you're going back and forth with people about Luongo. Why was Luongo signed to such a leeching contract? Not sure what you're asking there. How are the Canucks going to handle long-term injuries outside of using LTIR? Yeah, Erwin. So injured reserve means you're gone for at least 7 days. Long-term injury reserve means you're gone for 10 games and 24 days. So if they think that from the start of the season, Joshua and Demko are going to be out for longer than 10 games and 24 days, you can then put them retroactively on long-term injury reserve. So that means then you'll be over. Now you're going to dip into that accrued cap space. So I don't know if they retroactively remove it then, and they only start counting it to when they come off of IR. Let's worry about that once they actually are put on IR. Then I'm sure we'll read a lot of things about it. But yeah, Erwin, right now they're on regular IR until they know that they aren't going to be back for at least a month. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, it was great that the Lions beat Calgary. Most of their points were on defense, but that's still fine. Would Hoglander be optimal to replace Garland as a third liner down the road? Altogether would be too small and expensive. We'll see, Raymond. They could be like one of those kind of buzzsaw lines, those energy lines, and they do play different sides, right? Hoglander plays more on the left and Garland plays on the right. So they might not necessarily have to replace each other, if that makes sense. I'm just going through all the membership messages. I'm not sure what's going on. Name your top 10 Tucker Poolman moments. Signing here, and maybe he had a goal or a fight. Like, I'm not being disrespectful. I haven't seen him play for 2 years. I can barely remember how he played. I just remember his first season was just okay. And then already, and it's unfortunate they got hurt, but then you turn to the business side and you're trying to get rid of that contract. Why do you think Tortorella wasn't as successful as he could have been in Vancouver? Was it the roster or his coaching style? It was a bit of both. The roster wasn't like the Sedins were coming out of their prime a little bit. And he tried to change the Sedins into shot blockers and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking the roster itself wasn't strong. And the Canucks were in the playoffs. They were in a playoff spot in January when he got suspended for trying to beat up the Calgary Flames coaching staff. So that was the undoing of Tortorella here and the entire season. Do you know if the 4th round pick used in the POOLMAN trade the Canucks own or the one acquired from Edmonton? Yeah, Darren, I don't know exactly which one it was. I haven't seen any literature about that, but it doesn't matter. When you're picking the 4th round, I don't think it matters where in those 30 picks it is. Just know it was the equivalent. Oh, Carol, you turned on membership gifting. Okay, hopefully you're gifted a membership then. Oh, Taylor, you did. It's on. Then I don't know. Clay getting hacked. Pastor Dan, are you saying I have a face for radio? That, in fact, did not work. Thank you. I'm back. Yell at all the people upstairs to stop streaming 4K video. Yeah, there are 5 of us in here that are sometimes on the internet all at the same time, for sure. PD to break the 100-point mark this season finally. Burned. I think it's going to be very, very close. You'll have to tune into Canucks After Dark to see my point projection. And I'm also going to devote an hour of my 24-hour live stream to going through the roster and giving my point projections as well. Yeah, PD's been 100-point already, right? Has he? Well, what did he get? Do I think Besser will break 30? Yes, I do, Alfred. I think he'll break 30, but I don't think he's going to get 40 again. I'll take anywhere between 30 and 35 from Besser. I really do. Why is the NHL scheduling a West Coast team to open their home opener at 1:30? I heard, Ricky, I don't know why, but I heard that Seattle wanted the first game of the season that was on North American soil, obviously not including the New Jersey wins over Buffalo. So I just heard that Seattle wanted the first game. I don't know why. Matt, good question about Ratu with Hoglander. Got to remember how young Ratu is. But I hear what you're saying. Like, I think Hoglander's hockey IQ is okay. Like, it's not like it's bad. And maybe if they put a veteran like Garland or Suter with them, they'll be okay. Good question. Would Atu Ratu be big enough as a serviceable 3rd-line center? Yeah, that's a small line for sure. But you can still be effective by being a smaller line, depending on deployment. But you're right. I think really those are just placeholders too until Joshua gets back. When Joshua gets back, then you have size. You have Joshua, Garland, and someone, and then they got to figure out where Hoglander goes. Was Pat Quinn more successful as a player, coach, or GM? GM. I remember him making some good moves as a GM. I think he had some decent seasons as coach too, but I did like him as a GM for sure. How much of a shock would it be if the Canucks didn't even make the playoffs this season? I think it'd be a big surprise. I saw in The Athletic, 100% of the writers, none of them gave Quinn Hughes a Norris Trophy vote. I mean, like predicted that Hughes would win the Norris, but 100% of the writers in The Athletic said that the Canucks will be a playoff team. 102, thank you, 2 years ago. Daniel Sprong scores 50 goals and Cisco comes out with the Sprong song. Sprong. That just doesn't sound right. There was an incident in the parking lot between Owens and Rhodes after bad blood, but they didn't mention it on their company socials. Work or shoot? Oh, that's definitely a work. That's not real. I think it just they're trying new things. They're trying new things, and I think it's ultimately to get Cody Rhodes out of that bloodline story, Irvin, so he can fight Owens, and then there's enough star power in the bloodline story with The Rock coming back for sure. Clay, was Luongo elite? Be honest. Contract and ice play. Elite? No, I don't think the Canucks have had an elite player. Bure would be the closest to it. I'd say Luongo was very good, spectacular at times. Elite is a hard thing to say. If he was elite or close to it, he'd be his jersey retired, and his jersey isn't retired here. Yeah, I'll go with excellent, outstanding at times, but I wouldn't say he's elite. But I'm not saying he's bad at all. He's my favorite all-time Canuck. Yeah, elites. He had some elite seasons, but I think he'd have to win the cup or also not melt down at times. Not his fault, of course. It's not his fault the Canucks couldn't score against Boston in Boston, but yeah, border up to close to elite, but certainly not that far away. But I don't know if I would say that he is. Was Linden the youngest captain the Canucks have ever had? Probably. How old was he? Probably. So Henrik Lundqvist, he never won the cup, but was elite, and I think Hall of Fame. And I don't know. I think did Lundqvist have a better career than Luongo? As much as I like Luongo, I think Lundqvist. No, I don't know their accolades, so I can't remember all of them in the head, like off the top of my head. What do you think, Clay? Cody, Roman, Rock, and Jimmy Uso versus Bloodline. I think it'll be Roman, Jimmy, Jay, and Sammy versus the Bloodline 2.0. I think they might remove Cody out of that storyline. I don't know though. It's just a gut feeling. Best captain in our Canucks history. Well, I don't know all the captains, so I couldn't name them 1 to 10. I think to me, Linden personifies captain for sure. Henrik was an outstanding captain. He was the captain of our best team. Smeo was a heart and soul guy, but he wasn't the best skilled. I'd rank Naslin a little bit lower, 5 or 6. Well, jury's out on Quinn Hughes. I think Horvat's maybe 5 or 6. So maybe off the top of my head, I'd say Linden and Sedin and Henrik were the 2 best. Bedard's not happy. I didn't see that. Oh, was Quinn younger than Linden? Hughes was named at 23, Linden 21. Very good. No, I'm actually not. Believe it or not, I've actually lost interest in Survivor. I have not watched it for the past 3 or 4 years. So Tim's trying to help out. Tap join and then more, and then on gift settings, confirm you'd like to opt in by turning on the allow gifts. Very good. Thank you, Tim, for helping us out that. Yeah, I do think it's a work for sure. Spronged Hughes deking for a PD goal. Helen, don't be naughty here. Knowing the people you know from the Canuck system, any chance of any surprise signings, trades before the roster deadline tomorrow? No, Adrian. I think the Canucks did all their movement today. I mean, watching Canucks since 2008 and may feel a little embarrassed by this. Here's why are icing calls implemented in the game in the first place? Because Alfred, that's a fair question. If you didn't have icing, all you could put one guy just waiting in front of the goalie, okay, or in the offensive zone. And sure, you'll be one man short, but all you got to do is get a rebound, whip it down the ice, shoot it as hard as you can, and now that guy can just be there and retrieve the puck behind the net from the corner and basically one-on-one on the goalie. And then if there's no icing or offsides, then you could have that guy do that, and then you could have another guy. Actually, my answer is more for offsides, is because you can't just have a guy sitting there in front of the goal. The icing, now that I articulate it, it's for the flow of the game. If there was no icing, anytime you're in trouble, you can just whip the puck down the ice without penalty, right? You just whip down the ice, no consequence. and then it's not a skill play. You're just clearing the puck. That's why you see it. They allow it on the penalty kill. So if there's no icing, you would get a lot of these clear plays, and then it would kill the momentum of the game. Now you might say it kills the momentum now because then it's a face-off, but at least it penalizes the icing team by having an offensive face-off, if that makes sense. Oh, like pretty. I thought you were making a joke about something else. Breakout player of the year. Well, I've always said that my unsung hero is going to be Kiefer Sherwood. I think he's going to be awesome. I don't know if that classifies as breakout though. I'm going to say Hronek is going to have a really, really good year. Best quarterback, Doug Flutie that's ever played here. Roy DeWalt was good, but he was maybe before your time, Simon. Ratu for breakout. I like that. Dickinson. Is Quinn Hughes elite? Yes. He won the Norris Trophy, and he's one of the top 2 defensemen in the entire league. So I would say Quinn Hughes is elite. Could Garland be part of the package requiring another top 4 defense? Perhaps, especially if we have a lot of guys that can do what he's kind of like, his contract's not brutal, but it's one of the ones that I think it's a little bit less efficient than others. Did the Greenmen get special permission? Yeah, I think they're basically allowed to do whatever they wanted to. Good luck with the bowling, Tyler. That's awesome. Shannon, I'd say that's a pretty good guess. 4-2. Okay, actually, this is a silly poll question that I'm going to ask you. For those of you that don't know, I always predict the score, but 4-2 is my favorite score. And for the past 3 seasons, I've kept my score prediction 4-2 for the Canucks until it actually happens. So it might rob you of a true prediction, but I truly think 4-2 is realistic because a 3-2 lead and then an empty netter. I really think 4-2 is a realistic score, and it happens a lot. It just doesn't happen for the Canucks a lot. So this is not binding, but I'm going to ask you in the poll, are you okay? Are you okay with me predicting 4-2 scores until it actually happens? So again, I usually predict 4-2 until it actually happens. And then for the rest of the season, I change it up and put a bit more thought into it. But I do think 4-2 is a realistic score. It's not like I'm predicting like 8-1 every time. If you were to change a rule in the NHL, what would it be and why? I would limit the time it takes for a goal and offside reviews, high stick reviews, whatever, to 30 seconds. 45 seconds max. If you can't decide in that 30 to 45 seconds, then you stay with the call on the ice. It will just speed up the game a little bit. Hey, Tristan, nice to see you. What is your favorite pickup from the offseason? Yours is Jake DeBrusk. Yeah, I think Jake will be the highest profile, but I think Kiefer Sherwood is going to be the sneaky good one that we're all happy about as well. Erwin, you can say whatever you want. If you had to make a new parody for the beginning of the hockey season, which song would you use? Oh, there's so many options. I don't know. Sometimes I like modern music, but I'm not always up on modern music. So maybe something like a Bruno Mars thing, or I don't know, maybe old school 90s R&B. I just think about that one, Fangirl. Boyz II Men had a song called Motown Philly, and we're playing Philly second game of the season. But, you know, it's so funny. As much as I love doing parodies, I've done 3 dozen of them. They haven't really crossed my mind over the past 3 years. Who are you betting on Canucks season MVP? For the Canucks MVP, I'm going Quinn Hughes. Get rid of the trapezoid. Rome, that's a good one. I think you'd have a lot of support on that one for sure. How many games does She Loves get regular season official shutout? Say Christmas time. So maybe 25 games for the Canucks. Maybe She Loves is maybe a bit later, January. Maybe when She Loves has played about 20 games already. What did the Greenmen do best? They didn't care. They're kind of irreverent. I think that's why it was pretty funny. Viper thinks it'd only take 5 games to get my prediction correct. You know, that should be my poll for the next stream is how long will it take for the Canucks to win 4-2? So 78% of you are actually saying you're okay with the 4-2 score prediction. All right. We need our goaltenders goals against average to be 1. So 4-1. Very good, Adrian. Do a guess at the start of the season how many games it'll take to get 4-2. Oh, and do actual guesses. Oh, that's another way of doing it, Michael. Dunnigan, yeah, he was good. No, I don't think we're setting up for a blockbuster. I think it was just trying to get under the salary cap. And I love Casey Printers. I just didn't think he had a long enough run here. Is Demko better than Luongo? Not yet. No. Forbert, Jordy Ben 2.0. I'd have to watch more of Forbert for sure. Was the trade for POOLMAN any good? Hey, SMW, I did about 10 minutes of it. So I'd ask you to go watch that. But I think it was great for the Vancouver Canucks. Yeah, Raymond, I completely realize that. But that's part of the fun of it for sure. Well, will you look at this? Tristan gives a membership. Thank you, Tristan. And Carol Bovelander, the longtime legend, gets awarded the franchise membership. Now, I know, Taylor, I know you're not happy about how this is going, but I am thrilled that it's Carol. I know Carol has plans to activate a new credit card, new banking info, join membership, but now at least she's got her foot in the door, and Carol is a very, very worthy recipient of membership. So thank you, Tristan, for the generosity, and welcome back to membership, Carol. And very classy of you, Taylor, to congratulate her. Welcome to Carlson. How's training camp? It was okay, high T, but he didn't move the needle like Baines, Ratu, Aman did for sure. Yeah, Shannon, I think they're gonna split between Shilovs and Lankinen for sure. Yeah, for sure, Raymond. I hear what you're saying, but a lot of teams don't score as much as Canucks and Oilers do as well. And then Tristan becomes a member himself. So let's give some love to Tristan. Tristan does not wait to get gifted a membership. He buys himself a membership. So welcome, Tristan, to franchise membership. You are awesome. Let's give Tristan some love in the chat. And that is where I'm going to end it, my friends. Thank you for being here. By the time I'm going to be done, it'll be an hour. What a big stream. What a generous stream, you guys. Don't forget, this week, I'm doing shows every night. We got Canucks After Dark tomorrow, though, at 10 o'clock first. And looking forward to doing that show with Parker. And then Wednesday, the Canucks start the season. Then Thursday, it's going to be a big show here where I'm going to be doing some giveaways to mark the start of the season as I ramp up for the 24-hour live stream on the weekend. So this was an amazing stream. Thank you, everyone. Moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame franchise members, thanks for your support. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, and subscribing. On your way out, you can subscribe. You can still like the video. You can leave a late donation. You can give some late memberships, buy your own membership, upgrade your own membership, use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Don't forget, you can buy Canuck Clay merch at canuckclay.threadless.com. Thanks to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate and Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. And thanks to everyone who went above and beyond tonight. We had Coach Rob gift a membership. We had Alfred with the $14 donation. Alfred with another $7 donation. Canuck Clay gifted 5 memberships. Brian Blingy Choi gifted 10 memberships. Tristan gifted a membership, and Tristan also bought himself a membership. That's 17 new members tonight, 17 or 18 new members tonight, and a few dollars of donations as well. You guys are amazing. So once again, thank you, everyone. And as I'm rating my bad joke, make sure as I say my bad joke, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just getting late, you guys. Make sure you give it a score from 1 to 10. See you tonight. See you tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Canucks After Dark. and then my own show at 11:15, to be determined if it's a games night or a regular show. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care. Oh, here we go. Swervin' Irvin with the late donation. So let's highlight this first. Thank you, Irvin. And I'm not going to make you guys donate just to hear extra jokes because you can save your. Okay. So now this is awesome. So, Irvin, thank you for the $3 donation. I appreciate you. And then we have Tristan gifting another membership. And this one goes to Michael Yano. So welcome, Michael, to membership. And Tristan, thank you for your generosity. We are now over 150 members on this channel, which is pretty darn good. So I guess I owe you, let's do 2 jokes to end off tonight's stream. Okay. So let me, okay, here we go. Here's my two jokes, and you can rank them, rate them consecutively, and then I'll end off this stream. First one's a very simple one. Off the top of my head, where do ships go when they are sick? Where do ships go when they are sick? The dock. They go to the dock. Not my finest. And then the second one, here we go. Did you hear the sad news about the orchestra leader that was hit by lightning? Yes, a well-known orchestra leader was struck by lightning. And it's just too bad he was such a good conductor. He was a conductor. God bless. And go Canucks go. Booyah.